Testing, testing. What is going on, everybody? Good morning. Good to see you. Happy, what's today, Thursday? Damn, this week's flying by. Missed 2 days, and it feels like it's already Friday at this point. It's good to see you guys. All right, let's see. Bruno, what's up, buddy? Let's see who else is in the chat. Gamer Kid, Joseph, what's up, buddy? Galaxy, we have Sadie, sometimes, Nerd Beast, Cook, what's up, man? Duke Nukem, Leo Lustig, good to see you guys. All right, let's see. Let me get situated here real quick, and we are good to go. Let's check out the market, and then we'll get into Mr. Coin Bureau's video with the crypto being sold from the government. Possibly. I guess we'll have to see. All right, Bitcoin 29,487. Man, still holding on to 30K. Kind of shocked about that. I thought it would still be over 30K, especially with the 25 basis point rate hike that actually happened yesterday. So I don't know. I guess we'll have to see what happens in the next couple days. This weekend usually will tell some tales if it's going to go up or down. Let's see. Leo Lustig says good morning. Good morning to you, sir. Tommy Coin, good to see you as well. All right, Ethereum, we have 1875. Let's check out the top earners of the day. Let's see. This is the week. XDC is up 73.7%. Jeez, that's crazy. On the daily, let's see. We have a lot of winners on the day. Pepe is coming back. Look at this, 11.9%. We have XLM 13.7, SNX 9.7. Damn, everything actually looks pretty good today. Pretty good, except for Kaspa. Kaspa's down a little bit. Interesting. Probably one of the only ones that are down. But look at Kaspa's actually. You know what? Speaking of Kaspa, 3 cents, almost 4 cents right now. Is that legit? You know what? I'm just gonna do the top 10 coins now, and then we're gonna look at Kaspa quick. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tether, XRP, BNB. We have USD Coin, Lido Staked, Ether, Dogecoin, Cardano, and Solana. And then Litecoin still in 13th. I always gotta say Litecoin. And did the halving didn't happen yet, right? Gotta look at that. All right, let's see. Kaspa. Real quick, I want to just double check the price. Yeah, it is almost 4 cents. Holy hell. So I have to do a video on that KS0 that Mr. Fully Electric let me borrow for the meantime, and it's just been running in my solar trailer. That thing, I looked at it yesterday briefly, and that thing's pulled in almost $1,400 at this point, which is absurd. And I've had it for, I think, probably 32 days or something like that. It's just over 30 days, if I'm not mistaken. Fully Electric, correct me if I'm wrong. Good morning, Tanes. Good to see you, buddy. But man, those KSOs are crazy. I'm shocked that the profitability is actually still pretty good. I guess we'll have to wait and see until those KS3s are actually shipped. That will be the telltale sign. All right, Fear and Greed Index, we're at 51 in the neutral as of right now. All right, I guess no further ado, let's get into it. This is crypto crash coming. Will the US government sell its Bitcoin? I am super interested to watch this, so I already hit the like button, guys. I leave a link to this down in the description below if you guys are interested in watching this full video after the fact, or instead of watching me, feel free. I appreciate Mr. Guy over at Coin Bureau. Let's get into this. If you have any questions, just at me during the chat. Let's do it.
Did you know that one of the largest Bitcoin whales happens to be the US government? It's believed to hold almost 200,000 BTC, worth almost $6 billion.
That's crazy. 200,000 Bitcoin. Jeez.
And recently, some of this BTC has been on the move. This has led to speculation that the government is about to sell. Now, the last time this happened was in March, and the crypto market crashed as a result. Shortly after, the US...
I actually remember watching a similar video to this, and it must have been back in March. That's interesting, because he did make another video talking about the US government planning to sell their BTC.
Government announced it would be selling more, and history suggests it will eventually sell all its BTC.
Hold on one second. Let me scroll that back and read what that said. So that said right here. So on March 14th, 2023, the government sold 9,861 Bitcoin for 215.7 million, according to court documents filed on March 31st. Jeez.
It would be selling more, and history suggests it will eventually sell all its BTC. Today, we're going to tell you everything you need to know about the US government's BTC, including where it all came from, what Uncle Sam could do with it, and how all of this could impact the market. I'll start by saying that nobody actually knows how much BTC is held by the US government, or any government for that matter. That's because crypto holdings by governments aren't typically disclosed, and those that are disclosed are probably just the tip of the iceberg. That said, the US government is known to hold at least 194,000 BTC. This is based on on-chain analysis conducted by Glassnode. As you can see, the US government's BTC balance history only goes back to November 2020, and it had been rising until March this year, when it started to decline.
So the orange on that chart is the government's balance of Bitcoin. Interesting.
Had been rising until March this year, when it started to decline. And if you're wondering where all this BTC came from, the answer is that it was confiscated from criminals caught by US authorities on 3 occasions. Just under 70k BTC in November 2020, when Glassnode started tracking this, just over 94k BTC in February 2022, and just over 51k BTC in November 2022. Now, the first seizure was related to Silk Road, a darknet marketplace. More about that in a moment. The second seizure was related to the Bitfinex hack, that crazy crypto rapper girl and her husband, if you'll recall. And the third seizure was again related to Silk Road, in this case a chap who had stolen it back in 2012. Now, obviously, these aren't the only seizures of BTC that the US government has made. They're just the ones that have made the headlines. Other notable mentions include the Colonial Pipeline hack in 2021, when US authorities managed to gain access to the hacker's private key and take a measly 64 BTC. And the US government has also made dozens of other BTC seizures in the past, the biggest likely being related to the shutdown of Silk Road in 2013. US authorities reportedly seized over 144,000 BTC from the website's creator, Ross Ulbricht, who received what many say is an excessive sentence, life in prison.
Life sentence.
What's crazy is that some of the agents involved in taking down the Silk Road marketplace were then subsequently arrested for stealing BTC.
Now, how fucked up is that? They arrested the guy for creating Silk Road and more or less just laundering Bitcoin, right? And then the government, the agents that actually confiscated all the Bitcoins ended up stealing it themselves, and then they got in trouble. That's so messed up.
It's possible that the 70k BTC related to Silk Road that was confiscated in November 2020 came from another rogue agent, since the identity of the person was never revealed. On that note, the FBI agent who arrested Ross mentioned in an interview that over 170k BTC had been seized, not 144k. If you add that to the additional 130k BTC, you end up with over 400k BTC that the US government had seized just from Silk Road.
Holy shit.
Watch that interview if you have the time.
That's crazy.
Fascinating. Now, Silk Road isn't the only darknet marketplace that US authorities have taken down either. It was eventually replaced by another darknet marketplace called Alphabay, which was itself taken down in the summer of 2017. The US government reportedly seized only 1,600 BTC on that occasion, which seems hard to believe. That's because Alphabay was significantly larger than Silk Road. To put things into perspective, Silk Road had 100,000 users, while Alphabay had over 200,000. It's also believed that Alphabay operated the largest Bitcoin mixing service at the time.
Have you guys heard of Alphabay? I'm going to be honest, I haven't.
That's because it went down at the same time Alphabay did. As such, it's safe to assume that the US government seized a lot more than 1,600 BTC from Alphabay.
So it's a dark web. So that's another dark web marketplace? That's crazy. I didn't even know that existed. Did you guys know that? Anybody? That's crazy. See, this is why I like watching these videos. Even though I just sit here and rip people off all day, it's like I have to like sit here and do this with you guys because it's things I haven't heard of that, you know, you possibly might not have either, which is you know, normal people would just listen to this and glance over it, but that's kind of interesting. I kind of want to look into that a little bit now. Just seeing where, I don't know, what that's all about.
Alphabay. When you add the likely 400k BTC from Silk Road and the 94k BTC seized from the Bitfinex hacker and other cyber criminals, it's very likely that the US government has seized well over 500k BTC in the last decade alone. It's possible that we will eventually know exactly how much BTC the government has seized as blockchain analytics technology becomes more advanced. The fact it wasn't advanced back then explains why there are so many discrepancies in the data. Newsflash: almost every crypto transaction can be tracked. And if you want to know how crypto transactions are tracked, you can find out using the link in the description. Speaking of discrepancies, you might have noticed that the US government has seized at least 500k BTC, but only holds around 194k BTC as of today. Logically, that's because it's sold most of the BTC that it's ever seized. What's annoying is that these selling activities aren't entirely clear either. For example, a recent Forbes article estimated that the US government has sold around 190k of the BTC it has ever seized.
Look at this. Oh, that's kind of a cool chart. Hold more than 190,000 seized Bitcoin, but it still holds seized Bitcoin. El Salvador, multiple Bitcoin purchases, and a program to mine Bitcoin using volcano energy. What the fuck? What is happening? Ukraine legalized crypto to facilitate war donations. Bhutan mining Bitcoin with hydroelectric power since 2020. Dude, this is cool. This is a cool chart. Like, I wonder where he finds all this shit, man. That's nuts.
However, it notes that the US government only seized 260k BTC, leaving it with a balance of 70k, which we know is incorrect. Again, the US government holds at least 194k BTC, at least for now. What is clear is that the US government sold all the BTC that it had initially seized from Silk Road. 144k BTC was sold across 3 auctions in 2014 and 2015. Notable buyers included pro-crypto billionaire Tim Draper, who bought 30k BTC, and digital currency group CEO Barry Silbert, who bought 50k BTC. Now, you'll recall that the FBI agent who arrested Ross specified that around 170k BTC had been seized, not 144k. This 25k shortfall could be explained by the fact that Australian authorities had seized 25k BTC related to Silk Road. 144k plus 25k equals just shy of 170k. This 25k BTC was also auctioned off in 2016. In 2017, it was revealed that the US government had auctioned off the 144k BTC it seized at an average price of just 334 USD per BTC. This seems to have been significantly below BTC's market price at the time, which was
I hit the wrong button. That was supposed to be the oof button, and that wasn't the oof button. My bad.
$100 during the first auction. Keep this in mind for later. Now, given that the US government seems to have a habit of selling seized BTC following a crypto cycle top, it's possible, if not likely, that it sold the BTC it had seized from Alphabay sometime in 2018 or 2019. We couldn't find any articles about this, probably because it wasn't a large amount. According to Bloomberg, the US government had in fact gotten access to additional BTC associated with mixing services that were being used by Alphabay. However, someone else had access to the private key for the wallet they had seized, allowing a third party to basically steal all the seized BTC. Truly crazy stuff.
That's nuts.
In any case, the US government's recent sales of BTC are consistent with its past behavior, albeit with a 1-year delay. This is probably because the bulk of the BTC seizures took place after the crypto cycle top was in, 145k BTC in 2022. Interestingly, these sales have focused on the BTC related to Silk Road. As I mentioned in the introduction, the first of these sales took place in March this year. Just under 10k BTC was sold. In contrast to its past behavior, the US government didn't sell this BTC at auction. On-chain analysis revealed that it transferred this BTC to Coinbase, presumably to sell on the open market. Later that month, the US government revealed that it plans on selling the remaining 40k BTC by the end of the year across 4 tranches, so 4 more sales of 10k BTC. It seems that the first of these 4 remaining sales is imminent, as the US government moved an additional 10k BTC earlier this month. It's important to point out that the 50k BTC the US government is in the process of selling apparently comes from the 51k BTC that was seized late last year. It's likely that the US government will sell the 70k BTC it seized in 2020 in the coming months, as it's also
Damn.
related to Silk Road. As for the BTC from the Bitfinex hack, the fact that US authorities recently returned a small portion of this BTC to Bitfinex suggests that they can't sell it unless it's properly seized, so to speak.
You know what's messed up, right? Like, they talk about, or a lot of people are upset about, people losing money, whatever, these exchanges and all that, and this Silk Road stuff. They sit here and confiscate all this Bitcoin, but like, they could take all this and just, I guess, help return money to people that have lost a whole bunch, but they're just going to sell it for their own benefit after confiscating it. They're going to be like, oh, well, you use this, so I'm going to steal all of your money. I don't care about you anymore, and I'm going to sell it, and I'm going to take all the money and put it into stimulus checks for everybody. Like, it's so weird. It's so weird how they, like, work things sometimes. It doesn't make any goddamn sense to me.
Naturally, Bitfinex hopes to get all of this BTC back eventually, and it looks like it probably will. Assuming nothing happens to Tether, of course, but that's a topic for another time. Anywho, this begs the question of what impact, if any, the US government's BTC sales are having on the crypto market. The answer depends on many factors, including whether the BTC is being sold over the counter, or OTC, whether the BTC is being sold on exchanges, and if BTC holders are paying attention. Now, in theory, selling BTC OTC doesn't impact its price. That's because the sale takes place directly between two parties. Depending on the amount of BTC, the price per coin will be higher or lower than the market price.
But if you do it on an exchange, you're going to crash the friggin' market.
That's because it's not always possible to sell lots of BTC at its market price on the open market. Put simply, if you want to sell thousands of BTC, you're better off selling it OTC, because if you sell it all on an exchange, your selling will crash the price and you won't get as much money in return.
Exactly.
Now, in practice, the impact of selling BTC over the counter depends on how much of a discount it's being sold at relative to its market price.
Over the counter is OTC for anybody that doesn't know. I'm assuming you guys all do know, but just wanted to clarify.
You'll remember that the US government auctioned the initial BTC it seized from Silk Road at a huge discount, possibly up to 50% relative to its market price. This means it's possible, if not likely, that some of the participants in these BTC auctions decided to sell some of their BTC on the open market to make an instant profit. Case in point, there were headlines back then which speculated about the possibility that these OTC-related sales were crashing BTC.
Wait, a Bitfinex maintenance delay in the auctioning off about 19 million worth of Silk Road-related Bitcoins thought responsible for the drop in price of Bitcoin on Monday and Tuesday. This was June 21st, 2016.
BTC's price. In case it wasn't clear enough, selling BTC directly on exchanges may cause prices to crash. How much BTC crashes in response to these sales ultimately depends on market depth, on how many people are buying or selling BTC on a particular exchange. FYI, market depth is very low during bear markets. Market depth has been particularly low recently due to an exit of major market makers and record low levels of BTC supply on exchanges. This means...
Oh, Mr. UK Miners Club just said the feds are selling the private keys to wallets with a set amount of coin in. That's super interesting. Could you imagine? I guess that would be one way to skirt around being caught selling it and then taking the profits, right? That's wild. UK Miners Club. That's a wild accusation, sir. I wonder if you have any like literature on that, please send it over. That's kind of crazy, actually, to think about.
That it's easy to push BTC's price up or down, and this volatility is being amplified by all the leverage on offshore exchanges. Liquidations are big market movers. At the time of shooting this, it only takes $10 to $20 million of sell pressure to push BTC's price down by 2% on most major exchanges, not counting liquidations. This means that it's more than likely that the US government's sale of $250 million worth of BTC on Coinbase back in March contributed to BTC's flash crash at the time. To be fair, it's more than likely that the banking crisis was the primary cause, especially since it caused the USDC stablecoin to depeg, which caused chaos among altcoins and DeFi. The US government's BTC sales coincidentally took place at the exact same time that the banking crisis was occurring. It's also more than likely that the US government's BTC sales from earlier this month were done OTC, if in fact they occurred at all. Besides the absence of on-chain evidence that this 10K BTC went to exchanges, there's also been huge demand for BTC from institutional investors because of the recent ETF FOMO. Then again, the US government could be waiting for another crypto or macro crisis to occur so that it can do extra damage to BTC. At the time of shooting, everyone is waiting for a shoe to drop that's related to either Binance, TUSD, DCG, or any of the other crypto entities that have been in difficulties recently. Now, this isn't necessarily a conspiracy theory either. According to Cointelegraph, the on-chain activity of the US government's most recent BTC movements suggests that they're, quote, testing liquidity strategies. In other words, they're testing how much BTC they can sell before it starts to crash its price on exchanges. Regardless, how much the US government's BTC sales affect the crypto market also depends on how BTC holders react to this news. The silver lining of being in a crypto bear market is that not many people are paying attention. So, news of the US government dumping BTC doesn't cause all that much speculative selling. Anyhow, to wrap things up, let's now explore the possibility that the US government is intentionally trying to crash BTC's price with its selling activities. In principle, the US government probably wants to maximize the profits it gets from selling BTC, and crashing the price would result in less profits. In reality, though, the US government's past BTC sales suggest that it doesn't care that much about making a profit. This probably has to do with the fact that the US government can print money, and this is something that the current administration has been doing a lot of lately.
He just woke up, guys. Give him a break.
This ties into the US government's motivation to crash BTC's price. Governments around the world are becoming aware of the fact that some cryptocurrencies are direct competitors to their fiat currencies. Take a second to consider that BlackRock CEO Larry Fink recently said this out loud. Now, this is bullish because it suggests that mass crypto adoption is imminent, but it's bearish because it suggests that governments are going to do everything in their power to either control or stop the cryptocurrencies that they believe to be a threat to their national currencies.
Oh, of course.
Some cryptocurrencies can, in fact, be controlled, such as centralized stablecoins. That's because centralized stablecoins rely on existing financial infrastructure and are therefore easy to regulate. It's not yet clear whether the US government wants to just control stablecoins or completely kill them. And it's not just stablecoins either. Proof-of-stake cryptocurrencies can arguably be controlled since they're fundamentally a derivative of fiat currencies. That's because you can theoretically print the fiat you need to control a proof-of-stake crypto. This is easiest to do if you can print US dollars, like the US government can.
I love that meme.
Conversely, proof-of-work cryptos are much harder to control. That's because you need to provide more than 51% of the mining power to take control of a proof-of-work crypto. This is why ESG-obsessed investors aren't that concerned about the E. They're concerned with the G, the control. More about that in the description. Moving on. Now, if you've been keeping up with the crypto headlines, you might have noticed that politicians around the world have effectively used Bitcoin's alleged environmental impacts as excuses to try and get rid of BTC. One EU politician literally suggested crashing BTC's price to kill proof-of-work mining. In the US, the current administration's approach has been to try and make Bitcoin mining more expensive through regulatory restrictions and taxes. The recently proposed 30% tax on Bitcoin mining would crush the country's proof-of-work miners and conveniently result in mass surveillance of all computers. There's just one small equation that doesn't add up, and that's why the US government would return some of the BTC stolen from Bitfinex back to the exchange, considering its connections to Tether. For reference, Tether has received extreme regulatory scrutiny in the US and elsewhere due to USDT. From our perspective, it's possible that the US government wanted to see where this returned BTC would go, and where the fiat currency that's cashed out, if any, would go. This would explain why authorities recently seized a bank account at the bank used by Tether in the Bahamas. This could be yet another coincidence, but there's no question that the US government wants to either control or kill the crypto industry. It's sobering to consider that both approaches involve actions that result in a market crash. The ongoing regulatory crackdown is irrefutable evidence of this. The only question is which bucket each crypto will fall into. If BTC truly can't be controlled, then the US government will have no option but to try and kill it. For now, though, it looks like the US government is still trying to control it. If this is the case, then Bitcoin will be too big to be killed by the time the US government changes its tune. Come the 1st of January 2025, central banks around the world will be allowed to hold crypto on their balance sheets. Given their accumulation of gold in recent years, you can bet they will buy BTC. More about that using the link in the description.
That's crazy.
And that's all for today.
That's it, guys. Appreciate Mr. Guy over at Coin Bureau for that. All right, so let's get into, I wanna go over this right here. So why Bitcoin miners have flocked to Texas. I actually saw this briefly before we went live, so I want to see what this is all about. I already liked it. They only have 6 likes, man. They get so little views, but that's I mean, I don't know. They put out some good info, so let's see if this is I don't know, worth watching, I guess. If it's not, we'll stop it. But let's see why Bitcoin miners have flocked to Texas.
We're going to talk about Bitcoin mining, one of my favorite subjects. Let's dive right into it. How did Texas become the mecca for Bitcoin mining? We have an awesome piece in Consensus Magazine by Jeff Wilzer, who's a great writer for CoinDesk. This piece delves into why Texas was such a popular option for Bitcoin miners over the last 2 years, how it affects the energy grid down in Texas, and how locals are reacting to Bitcoin miners moving into their neighborhoods. It's a longer piece, definitely worth checking out, but we'll kind of open the discussion here. How do you feel about mining these days? Wendy, I want to throw it over to you, get your thoughts on it. Pass around the horn a little bit.
So this is the thing, you guys. I am not a mining expert because I absolutely suck when it comes to tech, and I have no problem admitting it. I tell my audience, I tell you, I tell the internet. I can do math, okay? Believe it or not, I've got some math degrees under my belt, and that's how I learned how to trade. But mining...
Let's be real. We could just plug in a machine, go to the dashboard, and get it working. It's not like it's really too complicated, but...
It's hard to understand. One of the things I do know about mining is it's not as harmful to the environment as many people say that it is. And I feel like a lot of miners in the US are pressed. They're very pressed to find a safe place for them to operate their business because, let's face it, we still don't really have any guidelines or regulations. The United States of America can't figure out if mining is good for the environment, if it's bad, how they can harness, safer energy to do so. And I feel like miners are just kind of going to places where they're accepted, where they can pay less taxes. There's a saying my good friend Mark Moss says, go where you're treated best. And it seems like Texas might be that place for that. It's very sad that there's not other parts in America that it's very limited to where people can go and do these types of things, especially due to the electricity costs. I know in California, when I originally got into crypto, I had some friends like, you should start mining. And I looked at the costs and I said, it scared me because it was so expensive. But I feel like Texas has become a great place for that because they have the room and they're offering to treat people better than other places. So deep in the heart of Texas.
I love to hear. Wendy looked at the prices and went, I have a question for you, Will, our mining expert, off the back of what Wendy just said. I remember we spoke about a bill that was proposed that failed to make it through the House committee that was looking into the mining industry's participation in programs that would incentivize large energy consumers like miners to sell back energy to the grid. Is that correct? Or cap the incentives they could get from turning their operations off. And there was a big hoopla around the community and legislators saying that miners are just actually making a ton of money in incentives. Where has that conversation gone? Is there still tension there in Texas?
Yeah, so there's a few bills around that in the spring months. So Texas has a 2-year legislative cycle. So every 2 years they meet and hammer out some ideas and bills that they've been working on. And they have a few weeks to pass all these things before it goes to the governor's desk. And this year there was about 4 or 5 Bitcoin mining bills that were pushed forward on both the Senate side and on the House side. And only a few actually moved forward, and most of them were positive. So there was one that had to do with flared gas and capping the amount of flared gas that was possible to be used in the state. I think the end goal was just like to encourage flared gas mining. I'd have to go back and look at it. There's a few others on capping how much Bitcoin mining could be done in the state.
Real quick, the that flared gas thing. So MUSK Miners is actually at Mining Disrupt. Man, I forget their first names, but anyways, yeah, the guys over there that own MUSK Mining, they do have a flared gas facility, and I think somebody asked if it was cheaper to run a flared gas facility over a normal traditional just electric facility, and he said not really. So that was kind of interesting to me. I don't know if it's very marginally better, or if it's just whatever, you know what I mean? But I don't know what the point of it is. I guess if you're trying to, or if your building doesn't have the enough electricity from the grid or the the power station in that town, and you'd have to like do a huge upgrade to the actual town itself to be able to get that kind of power to your facility, then maybe flare gas is the option. But I wonder why they went that route overall, because that was an interesting little conversation they had, to be honest. I think that was on DJ Mine's channel.
On the grid. And then there was a few other like more political ones, including one to do with battery plants and how Bitcoin miners and them could interact together. So lots of different House bills and Senate bills. At the end of it, the legislative cycle was actually very good, favorable for Bitcoin miners. Like there wasn't anything that was like nasty or divisive against Bitcoin miners, which is, again, a new industry in Texas. I think this really comes from the fact that Texas is a Republican-dominated state. The governor's office has welcomed Bitcoin miners famously back in 2021 after China banned Bitcoin mining. Governor Greg Abbott openly stated Bitcoin miners are welcome here, and Bitcoin miners took advantage of that. As you've seen this piece from Jeff Wilser, one of the big things Bitcoin miners want is a friendly place to operate a business with clear rules for the road. They don't just want cheap energy or high Bitcoin price. They also want really solid business practices, so they don't have any issues like they did have in China, where you just have like random inspections, or your mine gets shut off randomly, or you just have problems getting workers in because of visas. In Texas, it's a little bit simpler. And so I think that is why we've seen such steady and popular interest in Bitcoin mining in Texas, because the political side of things is pretty simple there, and there's not too many surprises. Throw it back to you, Jen.
Well, what about, I heard, I had another question, but Wendy, I heard you sigh and put your hand up, so we're going to get you back in the
I was just getting, just thinking about what I'm going to eat for lunch.
Okay. Oh. Is it a taco?
You know what I just thought about? What happens if we use the energy from gas stoves, and then that energy goes to mine Bitcoin, so we don't have to ban gas stoves or something like that?
What? Gas stoves?
Innovative. I don't really understand it, but
innovative thought.
Because I'm trolling. That's why.
It. Take it offline. Okay. Well, my second question is, a lot of this legislation is proposed because of the community. How do you think, I guess, or how are you seeing mining companies educate the communities on what's actually happening here, especially when we have Greenpeace out there saying Bitcoin mining is bad and going to boil the oceans?
Yeah, great subject. I'm actually submitting an op-ed to CoinDesk, which will hopefully run this week for part of Miner Week, talking about that very subject. More in broad strokes, talking about public miners, which public miners are mining companies that publicly listed in either Canada or the US over the last few years. There's about 20 plus, and a lot of people have exposure to Bitcoin miners because they want exposure to Bitcoin in their portfolios, and so they've chosen to do that through Bitcoin mining stocks. And my piece basically goes into how there's too much marketing gimmicks in Bitcoin mining retail stocks, and it mirrors the token industry. And we're just talking about WorldCoin. I think Bitcoin miners do a similar thing where they have a lot of marketing gimmicks out there. And I think that'd be better if they turn towards education. Now, there have been some really solid attempts at education, especially in Texas, because these Bitcoin miners are moving into rural areas where there's not a lot of jobs, there's a lot of energy, and there can be a lot of economic development. And there's been some grassroots development there, right? So the Riot team down in Rockdale, Texas, definitely does a lot of stuff with bringing people to the site, bringing in not only national media, but allowing local visitors to come into the site. I think the Texas Blockchain Council does a really good job. They host summits during the year. They have a lot of different education initiatives in different universities. So it's growing. The issue with all this, of course, is it's slow, and you have to teach someone about Bitcoin before you can really start teaching them about Bitcoin mining and how the energy grid works. And most people just don't want to have that conversation. So it's a slow grind. As long as there's a healthy political stance on it right now, I think that there will be continued education, and maybe 5 to 10 years time, people will be a little more positive towards it. But for right now, it's, I say generally negative, but not too negative, just a touch.
Education. Well, all our audience can educate themselves by reading Will's op-ed on CoinDesk.com. There's lots of other fascinating stories during CoinDesk's Mining Week presented by Foundry there, so you can check that out.
All right, they're just gonna shill whatever that is. Has anybody found RFK's speech from Mining Disrupt? Actually, I just thought about it, and I don't know if it was ever posted anywhere. Let me see. Oh, oh boy, geez, Mining Disrupt has its own channel. I didn't know that. That's kind of crazy. Let's see. Or is some random guy that just took the channel? Look at that. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I know I saw Dan Keller's thing, actually. The Mining King put something up. Let's see. The Mining King, where is he? He put up this video, Dan Keller's full speech or whatever. If you guys are interested in that, this is from Mining Disrupt yesterday. I'm not going to watch it, but I'll share it here in the chat if I can. There we go. Let's see. All right, let's check the market out while I do this. Let me throw this in the live chat. If you guys are interested in listening to Mr. Daniel Keller, there is the link from Mr. Mining King. But yeah, RFK, I thought he was supposed to talk yesterday, and I don't see anybody that posted it. Man, look at this. Dogecoin's almost 8 cents again. Nice. Litecoin 91. When's actually, you know what? When's the Litecoin having? Let me see. I don't know. What the hell? Countdown. Here we go. 6 days. 6 days, 6 hours. God. I don't have dark mode here. Anyway, 6 days, 6 hours. That's pretty crazy. I wonder what's gonna happen. Litecoin's gonna pump or it's just gonna dump. I guess we'll see. I feel like nice hash is always wrong, but we'll have to see if it's 6 days or 5 days. Yeah, Patrick Murphy. And actually, kind of crazy. Mr. Patrick Murphy said that they banned stoves in a town in Massachusetts. I didn't know they banned gas stoves. That's a new thing for me, because I'm a master plumber by trade. So in the state of Massachusetts, you can be a plumber and a gas fitter. So I have licenses to do both. And yeah, we always put gas stoves in houses. It's never electric stoves unless there's zero ability to get gas, like propane or natural gas. So that's really weird to me. But I mean, I guess today they're jamming 10 pounds of shit in a 5-pound bag when it comes to apartments and condos and all this other shit. So gas stoves like that, I understand why they would remove them from construction. It's just shoddy workmanship, to be honest. That's mainly why, at least in my opinion. But yeah, I don't know. Too many I guess risks. And how do you guys feel about this WorldCoin thing? And you know what? I was just doing some searching on the side while I was waiting, or we were watching that, and I didn't realize that this WorldCoin thing was, or I guess was around for quite some time. Let me see quick. Let me pull this up just because I want to see what this is. This is a video over from Coin Bureau. This is a year ago. It says free crypto for scanning your eye. WorldCoin. This is 19 minutes long. I really don't want to watch this whole thing. I don't have time to watch this whole thing, but I'm going to play this for a second. I want to see what this is all about real quick, if you guys don't mind. If you guys knew that this existed, like, prior to the other day, please let me know, because this is crazy.
Would you let someone scan your eye in exchange for crypto?
No.
Well, let me guess. It
Maybe.
Depends on which crypto and how much, right? Well, in this case,
Look
the
at his
crypto
shirt.
you would get
It's got that guy that sprinkles the salt on steak. That's great.
in exchange for scanning your eye would be WorldCoin. Now, WorldCoin is a crypto project that's aiming to pilot universal basic income using a device called the Orb. And it's safe to say this peculiar rollout plan caught my eye. So today, I'm going to tell you what WorldCoin is all about and whether it's worth your eye.
I don't want to watch this whole thing, but that's I kind of just I want to see like there's any clips about it. Maybe we'll do a whole segment on this and just kind of go over this WorldCoin thing, because I didn't know this actually existed until the other day. Oh, there it is. That's what I wanted to show. This freaking orb thing. Like, how does this work? Introducing WorldCoin, a new cryptocurrency that will be distributed fairly to as many people as possible. Details about how it works, worldcoin.org. Let's see. Let me go to that on the side. Hold on. All right. Let me get up dark mode real quick. Let's see. All right. Introducing WorldCoin. More than 3 years ago, we founded WorldCoin with the ambition of creating a new identity and financial network owned by everyone. The rollout begins today. If successful, we believe WorldCoin could drastically increase economic opportunity, scale a reliable solution for distinguishing humans from AI online while preserving privacy, enable global democratic processes, and eventually show a potential path to AI-funded UBI. What? More than 3 years ago. What in the hell? I didn't even know this thing existed until the other day. Wait, this is it? This is the whole site? Co-founder letter? I'm gonna get a virus right now live. Oh, nope. Okay, it just brings you back to the same page. Weird. This is so weird. This is so weird. Consists of privacy, preserving digital identity, world ID, and where laws allow a digital currency, WLD, received simply for being human. What? What? This is so strange. God, what do you guys feel about this? That's really, really freaking weird. I'm not gonna lie. All right, I don't have time to watch this, unfortunately, but I would love to sometime. If you guys are interested in that, we can do that. All right, let me see what you guys are saying in the chat, and then we're gonna be getting out of here because it is Thursday and it's almost the end of the week, but it's not. Let's see. WorldCoin equals mark of the mark of the beast. Don't do it, said Leo Lustig. Nice. Oh, actually, you know what? I gotta go check this thing out. What do you guys think of this? I made a phone case last night for the cell phones. Cell phone mining. I gotta do a video on it. I want to see if this fits the phone. I don't know if it will. I need to make a universal one though. This is a test print. I literally just pulled it off before I came down and decided to do the stream. So I gotta try this out, and I'm gonna mount this to the wall. I put 2 screw holes there, top and bottom, so this could just be a wall mounted thing. Be kind of neat, right? Not too bad. And these phones don't get hot, which is kind of cool. All right, Alvidus, appreciate you, buddy. How's life? It is busy, crazy busy. I have so much stuff to do around the house, it's not even funny. I've been waiting to do my walkway for like 2 years, and I've been finally starting to dig out the rock, put the pavers down. I'm just dying lately, but yeah, that's pretty much it. Just work around the house has been the priority lately. All right, I'm gonna be trying to get out another video at some point today. I tried to do it yesterday, but my thumbnail guy didn't get back to me, so I had to improvise. And yeah, I'll be getting out a video at some point later today, just moving some stuff around the yard. Mr. DJ Mines, appreciate you, buddy. Did you drop a new video today? Let me see. Did you drop a video about your mining disrupt stuff? Let's see. Any videos? No. Are you dropping videos next week? Is that the plan? You're gonna clean them all up and drop them next week, I assume. Oh, and actually, you know what, DJ, did RFK speak? Were you there for that, by the way? If he did, if you could get that one edited and posted soon, that'd be great. I want to know what he said, because I don't see anything online that shows him speaking. Let me see what he's saying in the chat. It's going to be about 94 today, so you picked a good time for outside manual labor. This is Patrick Murphy. Dude, I know. It's been the last 2 weeks I've been dying outside, all right? It's awful. Next week, yes, no editor, so I do it myself. Yeah, I wouldn't waste money on editing. It's crazy. He spoke on a screen. Really? Okay. Huh. I wonder if I could find it. Did you record it, DJ, or no? Contains knows. I want to know where can I find the RFK speech? So it was on a screen. Interesting. See, like I could find a bunch of if I just search this or just type in, you know, RFK mining disrupt, just a whole bunch of shit. I don't know what's what. I don't think yeah, I don't think it's anything specific. So yeah, it'd be kind of cool if you guys could let me know, or if you find anything, Mr. Taines, if you know the link, please let me know. I didn't record it. Interesting. Should have, man. It would have been good content. Easy content. I mean, at least in my opinion. Mr. Yeah, Taines, if you know what I guess video call it was, or what link, let me know. Twitter. I hate Twitter. It's not Twitter, it's X. Get it right. UK Miners Club. You're living in the past, bro. Cut it out. It's X. Even the logo changed in my little bar on the top of Google. I don't use this shit anyways. It still says search Twitter in the search. Look at this. It still says search Twitter right here. Clear. What is that? Let me see. Search Twitter, but the logo is now X. Strange. What a great time I had today at Mining Disrupt. Tomorrow is the main event, and we start shooting the video. I'm so excited to share this with everybody. This was the other day. This is yesterday. Yes. Wait, so today's the main event? I thought it was yesterday. X means dead Twitter. Yeah, the bird's dead. Oh, let's see. They should have called it RIP instead of X. Yeah, that's, you know what, he really shouldn't have done that, to be honest. He should have just made like a I don't know, something tied to Twitter that was like X, I guess, was like a payment system inside of Twitter. Like, why would you kill an iconic thing? It just doesn't make any sense. Like, Twitter is it's so well known. It's in, you know, movies. Like, it's just, why get rid of that branding when that branding alone could make you a lot of money? It just doesn't make any sense to me, but hey, whatever. He has plenty of money. He doesn't need to worry about it. That was a pre-party. What, yesterday? Yesterday was a pre-party, so today's the main event. Let me see. I try to avoid politics on my channel. Oh, yeah, DJ, that's right. I totally forgot. My bad. I totally forgot. I don't know why. Yeah, that's so true. I get it. Totally get it. Mr. Taines, did he say? The X was tied together with SpaceX and his kid's name. Actually, if you didn't know, his kid's name is X. Like, it's literally just X. Kind of, it's spelled weird, but it's called, his name is X. How you say it. Let's see. Let me see. Did Taines tell me? Did he say? It was a video call. That's all he said. All right. Well, Taines, if you know the link to that video, please keep me posted and let me know. But anyways, guys, hopefully you have a good day. Make sure you guys stay tuned for all the Mining Disrupt stuff. Go subscribe to DJ Mines, Hot Crypto, the Mining King, all those guys over there, the Veteran Miner. They were all live streaming at some point. So if you guys are interested, please go check that out. And the Veteran Miner stream last night was good, actually. You know what? I'll put that in the chat. I will put that in the chat quick before we go. Give me 1 second. Let me pull this up. Oh. Okay, there we go. This one right here, the meeting of the miners. Look at all this sausage fest. Oh, I lied. There's girls in the back. There's women in the back. But that was a good picture. Real good picture. And they all got there towards the end, which is cool. So, good stuff, guys. That was great. Oh, here it is. There's the thumbnail. There we go. Oh, BBT showed up. Nice. That's great. That's funny. So many people, man. I don't know who this is. I assume they're part of the Flux team. They all have Flux hats on. DJ looking like a savage. Look at him. Only guy with a cigar in his mouth. Oh, no. They got cigars in their hands. I got you. Ugh, cigars smell like shit, bro. They smell so bad. Anyways, all right. Let me put this in the chat so you guys can watch this. But anyways, DJ, I hope you guys are having a fun time. I hope it's exciting. Be smart. Don't do anything stupid. Make sure you guys enjoy yourselves. Take plenty of pictures and make sure you guys share them with us. And yeah, guys, hopefully you have a happy Thursday. I will see you guys a little bit later at some point. If not, tomorrow for sure. I love the smell of cigars, bro. Smell like my grandfather. Gross. No thanks. All right, guys, have a good day. I'll catch you soon. Happy Thursday. Peace out. That's not the right one. Peace.